I never expected a simple family gathering to feel like stepping into a battlefield, but there I was, standing awkwardly at the entrance of an upscale lakeside restaurant in Seattle. The sun cast a golden reflection on the glass walls, and laughter floated from tables decorated with crystal glasses and polished silverware. Today was my parents' 35th wedding anniversary, a celebration of love, or so it should have been. I had driven 4 hours from Portland, carrying a silver picture frame as a gift, a token of my affection for my parents, John and Margaret Carter. At 33, I had poured my heart into my coffee and bakery shop, building something small but meaningful. My sister Sophia, 36, glided through the room in designer heels, her boutique success and charm shining brighter than the sunset outside. She was the family star, I was the shadow. As I approached the table, I felt the familiar sting of invisibility. I was seated at a corner, my gift overlooked, while Sophia's accomplishments, her thriving boutique, her lavish lifestyle, were praised endlessly. My parents spoke with pride about her, and my own recent award for small business excellence barely drew a glance. The room was elegant, warm, and celebratory, but I felt like an intruder in a story that wasn't mine. Then it happened. Ethan, Sophia's 12-year-old son, marched up to me during the toast. His mischievous eyes locked onto mine. "Mom said, 'You don't belong here,'" he said with a smirk before dumping his soda all over my lap. Laughter erupted around the table. John chuckled dismissively. "Kids will be kids," while Margaret offered a weak apology, mostly brushing it off. Sophia, of course, smirked, her eyes cold, offering no defense. I forced a smile, mopped the sticky soda with a napkin, and said nothing. Silence had been my shield for years, but in that moment, it became a mirror reflecting every slight, every moment I'd been sidelined. I thought about birthdays where Sophia's parties dazzled the neighborhood while my gestures went unnoticed, about the gifted car she flaunted versus the financial struggles I quietly endured. That soda was not just an accident. It was the culmination of years of favoritism and disregard. When I got home to my small Portland apartment, the anger and sorrow simmering inside me morphed into clarity. I logged into my bank account and removed my name as a co-signer from Sophia's business loan. It wasn't vengeance. It was reclaiming my independence, drawing a line that had been blurred for too long. That simple act, small as it seemed, felt monumental. For the first time in years, I realized I didn't have to endure the humiliation silently. That night, as the city lights flickered outside my window, I felt a spark, one that would grow into the courage to protect my dignity, assert my worth, and confront the toxicity that had silently ruled my family. The journey to liberation had begun. The next morning, Portland greeted me with the aroma of roasted coffee beans and the quiet hum of my shop. My life, simple yet meaningful, felt grounded. But the ripple from my decision to withdraw from Sophia's loan quickly reached far beyond me. By 8 a.m. the chaos began. A tow truck repossessed Sophia's SUV, drawing glances and whispers from neighbors. Minutes later, she stormed into my apartment, loan documents clutched in hand, her voice a hurricane of anger. "You're destroying the family over a prank," she screamed. I met her fury with calm silence, letting her rant dissolve into frustrated defeat. When she left, slamming the door, I realized my resolve had unsettled her far more than my words ever could. Days later, the hostility escalated. My car was scratched, my shop's window cracked. Security footage revealed the culprits: Ethan and a friend, giggling as they vandalized my property. The betrayal stung, but I refused to crumble. I sent the evidence to Uncle Ray, my steadfast ally and retired legal professional, who urged me to pursue legal protection. "If you let this pass, they'll think you have no value," he reminded me. With Ray's guidance, we filed a police report with investigator Lee. Ethan's history of school complaints added weight to our case. Ray helped me sever remaining financial ties, letters removing my name from Sophia's lease, closing accounts she tried to exploit. Meanwhile, the neighborhood buzzed. Sophia's boutique struggled, and whispers about her family's unraveling floated through the air. I watched it all, not with joy but with clarity. The vandalism footage, the blatant disrespect, the years of being silenced. These moments became catalysts, galvanizing me to reclaim my life. My shop became my sanctuary, a place where I was seen, appreciated, and respected. For the first time, the power was mine. The experience taught me that empowerment wasn't loud or vengeful. It was steady, strategic, and rooted in self-respect. I was no longer the sister in the corner, the overlooked family member. I was someone who demanded dignity, who refused to allow toxic patterns to define her. And with every day, with every small victory, I felt the heavy cloak of years of neglect lifting. The journey to justice led me back to Seattle, this time in the imposing halls of King County Courthouse. My shop in Portland hummed in the background, but the battle ahead required focus, strategy, and courage. New allies emerged. Hannah, a former employee at Sophia's boutique, came forward with evidence. Messages revealed Sophia and Margaret's attempts to smear my reputation, painting me as unstable to discredit my credibility. Then came the bombshell. A fabric supplier exposed forged invoices with my signature, a clear case of impersonation and fraud. I forwarded everything to Ray, whose meticulous filing turned chaos into a solid legal case. Courtrooms are intimidating spaces, but when my attorney presented the evidence, the vandalism footage, the forged documents, Hannah's testimony, I felt a sense of righteous clarity. I recounted the anniversary humiliation, my voice calm yet resolute. Each detail, each slight, became a testament to the truth. The defense tried to dismiss it as a family dispute, but evidence doesn't lie. The judge's sharp ruling echoed in the room. This is unlawful conduct, not a family matter. Sophia and Mark faced financial restitution. Ethan was assigned community service and counseling, and my parents, silent and uneasy, felt the weight of their complicity. The victory wasn't just about money or vindication. It was about acknowledgement, about my voice finally being heard and respected. Years of being dismissed, sidelined, and humiliated culminated in a legal acknowledgement of my worth. For the first time, I felt unshakable. The courtroom experience reinforced a lesson I had learned slowly. Truth prevails when courage meets action. Toxicity thrives in silence, but when confronted with clarity and evidence, it crumbles. I walked out of the courthouse not with triumph in my heart, but with peace, knowing that justice had aligned with integrity. Back in Portland, my coffee shop thrived like never before. What had once been a small corner of the city now blossomed into a community hub. Staff laughed, customers lingered, and every baked good symbolized my independence. Sophia's boutique collapsed under debt, her family's attempts to intimidate me failing at every turn. At an awards ceremony, my shop was honored by the Portland Small Business Association as Small Business of the Year. Standing on the stage, I spoke not just about business success, but about resilience, boundaries, and the courage to choose oneself. Applause washed over me like a warm tide. One evening, my parents appeared outside, seeking reconciliation. I smiled, locked the door calmly, and turned to my young employee. "Strength comes from choosing yourself," I said softly. My community, my chosen family, embraced me fully. Forgiveness wasn't returning to toxicity. It was freeing myself from the weight of unmet expectations and hurt. Spray-painted insults from Sophia were met with police action, reinforcing my protection and resolve. I realized that true liberation isn't about revenge. It's about defining your worth, setting boundaries, and surrounding yourself with those who value and respect you. My shop, my life, and my heart were finally mine. I had endured humiliation, betrayal, and manipulation, but I emerged stronger, independent, and peaceful. Life taught me that freedom comes not from the absence of conflict, but from the courage to reclaim your life, your dignity, and your joy. Moral lesson: true strength lies in setting boundaries and choosing self-respect over toxic family ties. Freedom comes from defining your worth independently, building a life with those who value you, and letting go of the weight of others' disregard.